Welcome to another episode of the Taranique Show, where science meets curls and healthy hair is always goals. We have been in a series talking about moisture. If you've ever heard, if you ever watched the Brady Bunch, and was it Jan? She would always talk about Marsha. So every time I say moisture, I think about Marsha. Anyway, that is completely irrelevant. But if you have ever watched the Brady Bunch, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And maybe that brings up some good childhood memories, because I really like the Brady Bunch. Anyway, let's dive right into it. So I guess a continuation to watching the Brady Bunch. So if you know exactly who the Brady Bunch, the show, you know, the characters and about the show, then chances are this video is for you. Why? Because we're going to be talking about gray hair. And if you have any idea what about the Brady Bunch, then 2 to 1, your hair is starting to turn gray, right? So on this episode, we're going to talk about, do I need to change my hair routine or my moisture routine? Because now my hair is starting to turn gray. Listen, the gray hairs that popping up on my head, I'm not about that, right? I look at my scalp when I have new growth and I'm like, it's time to go to the store and buy some hair dye. I love the Beijing Oriental Black hair dye. You can find this at Walgreens. I get it from my local Walgreens. Or you can get it on Amazon. So that's Beijing. It's Bigen. It's in a white box. I've been using it for years. It actually makes my hair feel more moisturized. More moisturized and thick when I use it, because I feel as though when I look at the gray strands, they look thinner than my natural strands. And you know, that is also a possibility that when your hair is, you know, turning gray and the new strands are appearing, they are a bit different from your naturally darker strands that have the melanin in it, right? So gray strands need to be treated differently, and we're going to dive in. Do I need to change my hair routine once I start going gray? If you want to keep your hair flourishing, healthy, and, you know, looking its best, there are some things that you're going to have to do once you start to go gray. And I'm going to dive into that. Okay. So, yes, as your hair starts to gray, adjusting your moisture routine becomes essential. And here is why. Why gray hair needs more moisture? Gray hair loses melanin. And I know I'm not saying that right. Melanin. That's how it's spelled, right? Melanin. That it is. There we go. Melanin. I should notice I got all this melanin in my skin. I should be the poster child for melanin. I know somebody in the comments is going to be like, no, you're saying it wrong. I mean, I said alopecia, Aretha, and someone came from me in the comments. She was like, this is how you pronounce it. You don't pronounce it like that. I'm sorry. I'm from the Bahamas. Okay. I have an accent. Sometimes, you know, because I'm not perfect, you forget how to pronounce words. So is it melanin? What is it? Y'all know what I mean. Let's just move forward and not like hinge on this one pronunciation. Anyway, so gray hair loses melanin, and along with it, often loses its natural oils, making it coarser, drier, and more prone to frizz. That is exactly why when you see the gray hairs popping up, you'll see they kind of stand up versus like they don't blend in with your darker hair or your natural, not your natural hair, but your darker hair. They kind of stand up in a way. So that's why, because they're coarser, drier, and more prone to frizz. They are also more fragile and porous, which means it absorbs and loses moisture more easily. So another thing to think about when you are going gray is your porosity. If you've had medium porosity hair all of your life and now you have more gray strands, these strands are more porous, then your hair probably becomes higher porosity. So with higher porosity, it absorbs moisture really quickly, but it also releases moisture. So this would be why as you turn gray, you're going to have to change up your moisture routine. You're most likely going to have to moisturize more because your hair is going to be more porous and it's going to be more fragile. So if you noticed, products that would have worked for you in the past when your hair was not gray, you may have to switch up that product routine because your hair is changing. So the needs of the hair changes and you're going to have to switch to products that will help your hair to look and be healthier, right? So gray hair can appear dull or wiry without proper hydration and sealing. So these are things to keep in consideration. And also when you are going gray and you use products that have dyes in them, you want to stay away from products that have dyes in them because then the color of the hair will also change. So I would recommend using products made from natural ingredients like our Curly Bell products that don't have a lot of those artificial dyes in them, so that your hair, the gray hair doesn't start to turn yellowy or purple or a different kind of color, but it stays natural because you're using natural ingredients. So how to adjust your moisture routine when you're going gray? You want to use richer moisturizers. Choose products with shea butter, cupuaçu butter, and aloe vera. Also, I find that hibiscus is very good for using in your hair when your hair is turning gray. Something about hibiscus helps with the thickness of the hair, and gray hair can be more fragile. So the hibiscus it helps improve your strands when you are going gray. Great examples for hydrating products for going gray is our Thirsty Curls leave-in conditioner, which I happen to have an abundance of right now, right here. But don't worry, guys, all of these products right here are already accounted for. These are products that is somebody's already. So these aren't for sale because they're already sold. Our Thirsty Curls leave-in conditioner is just a very, very good product. And I understand why people love it. So it's made from shea butter. So it has shea butter in there, which is a very, very good ingredient for moisture. Hibiscus, aloe vera, and also honey. So this is a great product if you're not going gray, but if you are also going gray, to keep your hair moisturized. And you can use it every single day because it is lightweight. It will hydrate and moisturize your hair, but you won't get that buildup, and it also provides a lot of slip for detangling. So this will be the perfect product for you, hence why I have so many right here that is already on its way out the door. Our Thirsty Curls leave-in conditioner. I was just too lazy to move it for this video because we had to separate them and count them out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not moving these. They're just gonna stay there because after we finish the video, these are being shipped out. Anyway, so you want to use rich moisturizing products. Look for ingredients like shea butter, cupuaçu butter, aloe vera, and hibiscus in your products when you are going gray. So if you're using products now and they don't contain these ingredients, 2 to 1, you're gonna have to switch to more moisturizing products so that your gray hair, is moisturized and it doesn't break, it isn't frizzy, and you can continue to grow healthy hair. Number 2, deep conditioning weekly. If you have found that, you had medium porosity hair and you didn't need to deep condition, and now your hair is turning gray and it's more porous, it's not taking in moisture, keeping in moisture like it used to, then you're gonna have to change your deep conditioning routine. So I would recommend, if you have a head full of gray hair, even if you've dyed the hair like me and you have just convinced yourself that you're not going gray and you're not old, getting older, you still are gonna need to condition your hair. And that's one of the reasons why I like this hair dye that I use, is because it makes my hair feel more moisturized. So that's another thing. I don't know what to recommend to you in terms of hair dyes because I don't make them personally. I only use one that I feel moisturizes my hair when I use it. So you're gonna have to do a little trial and error there. If you wanna, avoid gray like myself and dye your hair then you're going to, you know, just find a hair dye, look at reviews of good hair dyes to use that are also moisturizing and not drying, right? And then you want to seal with oil. So you want to lock in moisture after you've hydrated your grays with something like our Curly Tropical Oils blend that combats frizz and keeps grays shiny. When you are looking for an oil blend, you want to make sure that there are no dyes in the oil. It's all natural oils so that your hair doesn't change color, because with the white hair having lost its melanin, you know, it will then absorb whatever dyes are in hair products. So that is something that most people probably don't know that they need to be aware of. When you have gray hair, do not use products that have dyes in them, because it will change the color of your hair. And then you want to add UV protection to your hair, just as you would, you know, have sunscreen on your face. You want to look for ingredients that offer UV protection. Shea butter is a great one, because ingredients like shea butter, they help protect gray hair from yellowing due to sun exposure. So you want to make sure that shea butter is incorporated with your new hair, right? Your new gray hair. So you'll want to moisturize often. You want to use richer products. You want to seal in moisture, stay away from dyes, and you want to, you know, incorporate shea butter into your hair routine. It actually also seals in moisture really good. So shea butter is a good moisturizer, but a good sealant because it's very thick, and it will, you know, just help your hair to be less prone to turning yellow from the sun. So those are my tips on if you're turning gray, what do you need to do? Do you need to change your moisturizing routine? Absolutely, because your hair, the condition of your hair changes when it turns gray. It loses the melanin, it becomes drier, frizzier, more porous. So you're gonna have to add in moisture to your hair. You may have had medium porosity hair all of your life, but all of a sudden now you're gray and your hair is very porous. So you're gonna have to change up your regimen to suit, you know, your new gray strands, or just be avoidant like me and dye the hair. Forget that you're going gray and just live life as normal. I do not recommend that, but yes, you're gonna need more moisture as your hair turns gray or as you age. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please leave me a comment below. Please be nice. Don't tell me how I pronounce melanin wrong, or I don't know. You all know what I mean, okay? Anyway, have a great day.